Why the index fund is especially important today in our asset allocation strategy. Before we deep dive into that subject, let's understand what is an index fund. An index mutual fund or ETF, exchange traded fund, tracks the performance of a specific market's index or benchmark as closely as possible. The popular S&P 500 and Nifty 50 are examples. To simply say, buy a portfolio that owns the shares of every business in the world and hold it forever, which will guarantee you winning your investment game. Hey there, welcome back. You are with me on Be a Moon, Not a Star. Now I would like to share with you the top 3 reasons to invest in index funds. Number 1, broad diversification. The bright side of investing index fund is that your portfolio becomes instantly diversified and minimizing the likelihood of losing your hard-earned money. Number 2, low management fees. Another major benefit that I see investing in index fund is the costs are lower than those associated with other types of investment funds that include taxes and management fees. Number 3, attractive returns. Every individual company can overperform or even underperform in the market, but in general, the overall stock market increases by value over time. As a result, index funds generally yield a higher return for a low cost, which brings an excellent value for any investor. Benjamin Graham, a legendary investor, once said, "In the short run, the stock market is a voting machine, but in the long run, it's a weighing machine." Let's see why he said that through an instance. Once upon a time, a wealthy family named the Gottrocks grew over the generation to include thousands of brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, and cousins, and owned 100% of every stocks in the United States. Every year they reap the rewards of investing. All the earnings growth that the thousands of corporations generated were distributed as dividends. Every family member grew wealthier at the same pace, and all was harmonious. Their investment had compounded over the decades and creating enormous wealth because the Godrocks family was playing a winner's game. But after a while, a few helpers arrived on the scene. They persuaded some Godrocks family's cousin that they can earn a large share than their relatives. The helpers convinced the cousin to sell some of the shares to other family members and buy some shares of others from them in return. The helpers handled the transaction. As brokers, they received the commission for their services. The ownership was rearranged among the family members. To the surprise, the family's wealth grew at a slower pace. Even though all those dividends were paid, all those earnings growth were reinvested in the business, the 100% of profit started to decline because some of the return is now consumed by the helpers. To make matters worse, some of the family members were paying taxes on the capital gains by swapping their stocks back and forth. The smart cousins quickly realized that their plan has actually diminished the rate of the growth in the family's wealth. They also recognized the stock picking had been a failure and concluded that they need professional assistance, the better to pick the right stocks for themselves. Therefore, they hired stock picking experts to gain an advantage. These money managers charged a fee for their services. A year later, when the family appraised their wealth, they found that their wealth had diminished even further. To make matters worse, these new money managers feel compelled to earn their fees by trading the Gottrocks family's wealth. That again increased the brokerage commission fees further. The smart cousin said they failed to pick the right stocks for themselves. When that didn't work, they also failed to pick managers who could do so. What shall we do now? They decided to hire still more helpers because of the two previous failures. They reached out the best investment consultants and financial planner who can advise them on how to select the right managers, who will then surely pick the right stocks. Of course, we can do exactly what you need. Just pay us a fee for our services, said the consultants. But unfortunately, the family's wealth tumbled once again. Alarmed at last, all the family members gathered for a discussion and realized all that money they have paid to those helpers were directly from the family's total gains. A wisest uncle from the Gowrock's family said, "Get rid of all the helpers, all the consultants, and all the money managers. Then our family can again reap 100% of earnings year after year." Successful investing is about reaping the huge rewards provided by the dividends and the earnings growth of our whole nation's market. The miracle of compounding return is a little short of amazing. It's perhaps the ultimate winner's game. Furthermore, the winning formula for a successful investment is owning the entire stock market through an index fund, then doing nothing. Just stay the course. Hope you learned something about index fund today. As always, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you there in another video 2 weeks from now. Until then, I am Prakash, signing off.